This is Colleen McGee bringing you another episode of Fort Riley, the podcast. And this week, we are taking a look at the regulations about fireworks on Fort Riley and other ways that you can enjoy this American tradition.
So my name is Richard Watson, and I'm the Assistant Chief of Prevention for the Fort Riley Fire and Emergency Services.
What are the rules this year for fireworks on Fort Riley?
So the rules this year, as they are every year, is fireworks are prohibited on the installation without exception, and that's based on Fort Riley regulation.
But there's lots of places that people can go out and in the communities surrounding us where they can do fireworks. So give me some good safety tips when they're out there doing that.
Well, first and foremost is you want to make sure that we see a lot of injuries dealing with kiddos, children that really are not supervised very well or not supervised at all. So we really want to keep a very close eye on them. You always want to buy your fireworks from some of the more reputable stands. Make sure that you use them according to the way that they're either packaged or the instructions. There are some instructions on some of them. Obviously, the bigger the firework, some of your mortars and things like that, it's going to take more space to deal with those. You don't want to use them very close to overhanging trees, underneath carports. We mention it because we see it happen. So things like that, certainly with a strong safety sense or safety mind going through everything that you're doing.
Now, fireworks are not the only fire hazard for this holiday weekend. Outdoor grilling can kind of be treacherous as well, right?
Absolutely. We do see quite a bit of grilling safety concerns. Folks that fire up the grill and they're too close to homes or garages or other structures. Folks that don't give their grills long enough to cool off once they've used them. Again, don't use them under overhangs and things like that. If you use them, understand that gas grills can stay hot for an hour, 2, sometimes 3, depending on how long they've been utilized. If they have a smoker box attached to them, those stay hot for quite a bit longer. If it's a charcoal grill, it takes them a long time. It could be days. Once you're done cooking and you close the lid, and people are like, I'll clean it up later. It takes days for those coals to really truly cool off. And what a lot of people like to do is they like to, throw them in a bucket real quick and throw them in their dumpster, which is often parked up next to, again, the side of structures, a home or a garage. And so that once that dumpster finally, it melts, catches fire, and it starts moving up the outside of the house. We've seen that more times than we like to think or count here on the installation. There are lots of awesome shows in the local area. I hear great things about Wamego show every year. I hear they put on a spectacular show, and they start the day with parades and everything else. I hear Manhattan's got some good ones going, or at least got one going good this year. So yeah, there's a lot of good local and a lot of different towns. I know we live over in the Topeka area, and there's a town south of us, Overbrook, that puts on a phenomenal show that we can see part of it from our house every year. So, yeah, there's all kinds of great community shows. Get out there, see them, enjoy, have fun.
Some of the local celebrations include Celebrate Freedom in Wamego, Kansas, Spirit of Kansas Blues Festival in Topeka, Sundown Salute right here in Junction City, the 6th Annual Red, White, and Boom in Wichita, an old-fashioned 4th of July in Abilene, Kansas, an old-fashioned 4th in Lindsborg, Kansas, and Stars and Stripes Picnic and Fireworks at the National World War II Museum in Kansas City, Missouri. This has been Fort Riley, the podcast, and from our Fort Riley family to yours, happy birthday, America.